You're trying to do everything right. You push yourself on good days, you stay positive, you get things done while you can. You accept pain as part of life now. So why are the flares still happening? For years, I genuinely believed I was doing the right things, but I realized something uncomfortable. Some of the habits I thought were helping were actually keeping my system activated. Today, I'm sharing the 5 things I stopped doing and what changed when I did. You wake up and think, oh, I feel okay today. And suddenly you're on a mission. You clean, you catch up, you answer messages, you cook for the next few days so you're ahead. You try to do everything while you can because you don't know when the next good day will come. I used to do this every single time, and the day after a good day, nearly always my worst day. What I didn't understand was this: fibromyalgia isn't a stamina problem, it's a regulation problem. When you swing from low output to high output, your nervous system doesn't feel accomplished, it feels threatened. Now I use the 50% rule. If I think I can do 10 things, I do 5. Even on good days, I stop early. And that alone shortened my crashes. The second thing that I stopped doing might sound quite difficult to do. I stopped accepting constant pain as normal. This one was subtle. It wasn't that I ignored warning signs. It was that I told myself, oh well, this is just me. This is my baseline. This pain is normal for me. I genuinely believed pain all the time was simply my default setting, so I used to keep going. But here's what changed everything. When I started regulating better, pacing better, managing stress better, I began having more good days than bad. And that's when I realized I didn't have to be my normal baseline. Pain might be part of fibromyalgia, but constantly worsening pain didn't have to be. That shift in belief was huge. The third thing I stopped doing was I stopped surrounding myself with constant negativity. This one is harder to talk about, but it made a huge difference to my day-to-day life. I used to spend a lot of time around people whose lives were chaotic, dramatic, or very negative, and I didn't notice how much that was draining me. With fibromyalgia, your stress threshold is lower. Your nervous system absorbs more. And if you're constantly around high emotional intensity, it adds up. So I made my circle smaller, not in anger or in punishment, but in service of my own protection. I still care about people, I still check in, but I reduced the frequency and I started spending more time thinking about my health instead of constantly holding space for everyone else. That shift reduced my day-to-day stress massively. It wasn't easy, but it was powerful. If you're listening to this thinking, I know this is me, but I don't know how to untangle it, this is exactly the kind of work I do inside my one-to-one coaching. We look at your specific triggers, your routines, your energy patterns, and we build a structure that actually fits your nervous system. Not intense, not extreme, but stable. I'll leave the details below if that feels like the next step for you. Now let's keep going with the fourth thing that I stopped. I didn't want to be the person who cancels. I didn't want to disappoint people. I didn't want to talk about symptoms all the time. So I would grit my teeth and just carry on. If someone needed help, I pushed. If I'd planned something, I pushed to be there, even if I wasn't up to it. That internal overdrive kept my system in alert. Now, if I need to cancel, I cancel. If I need to rest, I rest. And yes, that required acceptance, but pretending I was fine was costing me more than honesty ever did. And the final thing that I stopped was waiting to feel better before creating structure. For years I thought, when I feel better, I'll be consistent. But fibromyalgia doesn't reward waiting. It rewards predictability and routine. So instead of waiting for motivation or energy to set a routine, I built a gentle structure. A consistent morning routine, regular meal timing, sleep windows, Light, gentle movement most days. Not intense, not perfect, but steady. Consistency at a 5 or 6 out of 10 intensity works far better than pushing to a 10 out of 10 every few days and then crashing. Safety and predictability calm the system. Intensity destabilizes it. Now, here's a simple explanation to why this all worked. In fibromyalgia, the nervous system is more reactive. The volume knob is already turned up. So when you overdo it, override signals, absorb stress, ignore boundaries, you reinforce that sensitivity. You tell your body it was right to be sensitive. But when you pace, reduce emotional load, respond early, create a gentle structure, you send a message of safety. And safety reduces flare intensity and duration. That's the shift. None of these habits came from fear of doing less. They came from wanting your life back, from wanting to prove you're capable, from wanting things to feel normal again. But for me, progress started when I shifted my focus and I stopped asking, how much can I handle and let's do all of that. I started asking, what makes me feel stable? And I decided I deserve days that aren't constantly triggered. You don't need to try harder. You may need to stop doing the things that quietly keep your system on edge. Sometimes healing isn't about adding more or doing things differently. It's about removing what's overstimulating you. If this video hit a nerve for you, the next thing you need to understand is why flares actually start in the first place. Because when you see the pattern, you can stop blaming yourself. I'll break that down for you right here in this video. Just remember, you're not failing, your system is reacting. So let's teach it safety instead. Take care of yourself, and until next time, be well.